I fumbled the man I probably should have married. And I'm making this post so that y'all don't do the same thing that I did. This is an accountability post. I met him on Hinge, and this was back when the algorithm was working a lot better, and it was like 2022, I believe. I didn't like his profile. I just knew he was gonna like me, and the next day he did. Normally I name names, but just in case he has a new girl and they're at peace, I don't want to disrupt his situation, so I'm not gonna name his name. But anyway, we met up quickly, we went on a date, and we ended up being like glued to each other pretty fast. We were like in a relationship within like a month, I believe. He locked it down. He was not trying to see me single. This man was fine. He was like 6'3", buff, long hair. He looked like Roman Reigns. Society would easily give him a 9, easily. And if you know me, you know who I'm talking about. But frankly, his looks were pretty irrelevant, honestly. He actually was very kind, very sweet, very empathetic, very emotional, very in tune with his emotions, but also quite emotional. And, you know, he just had a lot of very positive traits. The number one being, he did not play about me at all. We went to brunch with his brother and sister-in-law, and they were kind of cold, like not really like, I don't know, warming up to me. And he called that out immediately. He was like, absolutely not. When his brother was not trying to get to know me after like we had met, he was like, can you put more effort in with Britt? Like, that's my girl. Like, put some respect on Britt's name. Like, he did not play about me at all. I had never in my life dated a man like that. I had never dated a man who was on my side. Like, who, like, I don't know, defended me. I've never had that before. He also impressed my parents. My mom liked him a lot. She said I broke his heart, and honestly, I agree. But yes, my parents liked him a lot. So we dated for like 6 months, and I kept feeling like something was just missing throughout the relationship. Like, something just felt like it was missing. And I would communicate that to him, like, oh, I like you a lot. I love you, but like, something's just missing. And I didn't know what it was, and this poor guy was just doing his best to try to figure out what was missing, like trying to make adjustments, but like he just couldn't figure it out, and neither could I, because I didn't have the self-awareness that I have now. What was missing was chaos. No matter how many adjustments he was willing to make, he couldn't adjust himself to become a chaotic, toxic man when he just wasn't that. And that's all I had ever been used to. You see, I had not taken the time to like truly heal myself after my relationship prior to him, which was with a very emotionally avoidant guy, emotionally unavailable, everything. Okay, I had not healed from that. Not enough to be with a person who was safe. And so one day when he pissed me off, I broke up with him like on a whim. Because the majority of my prior relationships were with like antagonistic men, I was not ready to receive someone who was safe and loving and kind and caring. Maybe I didn't think I deserved it. Maybe I couldn't recognize what it was. My nervous system didn't know what to do with safe. My parents were kind of emotionally unavailable. Growing up in that dynamic, you kind of look for that in partners as well. So I ended up with emotionally unavailable men back to back to back. That brings me to my next point. For a while, what I felt like the relationship was lacking was him being a true leader. He would defer to me to make a lot of decisions because he felt like I was more intelligent than him. He would want me to like plan stuff. He would want me to just like make a lot of choices that I felt like the man should make. And I just didn't want to do that. I wanted like a leader in the way that I saw leader, how I viewed it. But like, knowing that he has weaknesses and that I have strengths, and then deferring to me where he's weak and letting him take the reins where he's strong is leadership. Like, okay, he could lead when it comes to protecting and providing and whatever, but he may have needed help with planning and stuff that he's not so good at. But I just couldn't see that at the time because I was dumb. I thought I needed 10 out of 10 boxes checked. But relationships are not found, they are built. Soulmates are built. Boxes can be built. If the person is at 7 or 8 and the last 2 need some work, you can meet them halfway. They can meet you halfway. Adjustments can be made. You don't have to break up. So though he had 8 of my 10 boxes, I was still too traumatized to accept him. I couldn't regulate my own nervous system fully yet. I had gotten to that point at 25 and met a very man at 26, and I lost all my progress. So I still needed chaos, and I ruined it. The next guy I dated after that ended up being another avoidant who was emotionally unavailable and ended up breaking my heart worse than anybody else I'd ever experienced in my entire life. So I got my karma pretty fast, I guess. Let this be a lesson. If you've met someone who's good, they protect you well, they show up, they love you, but you feel like something's missing or something feels off or whatever the case may be, or it feels boring, make sure that something is not just the trauma that you're used to. Make sure that, you know, you have healed enough to even receive what they're offering you. You don't need a perfect man. You just need a man that checks enough boxes that you can work with the rest. Anyway, that angel wasn't even on social media like that, so he'll probably never see this, but still, if you do see this, I hope you're doing great.
It's a good point. There's a lot of people out there fumbling good people because they have whatever it is going on with them. I'm glad you took accountability for what you did instead of saying, oh, it's his loss, he's the problem.
Me and my hairstylist were talking about the fact that Black women are the most educated demographic of people in the US. And I was telling her, I was like, yeah, honestly, there's not going to be enough like highly educated, high earning Black men to go around for all of us. Like, some of us are going to have to diversify and go over to the other sides. And she was like, yeah, it's not gonna be me. And I was like, yeah, me neither.
I really don't know where they're getting this statistic from. When you look at not just college enrollment rates, but you look at people who are actually completing degrees, Asian women are somewhere around, I think, 61%. Black women, unfortunately for your argument, are somewhere around 28 to 38%. I don't know why y'all keep on saying that.
I never asked you to bring groceries. I asked you to bring some pizza and some chicken.
And you asked me to do all types, take them out to eat. Why am I finna go spend $500 taking all these kids out to eat when they can have groceries, bro?
Why would you bring Why are you walking in my house?
I'm putting the groceries up for my motherfucking kids, bro.
Bro, you are so irritating because
It's
I never.
summertime.
Oh, God.
It's summertime, bro. You want me to just take the ass out spend $500 in one go, bro?
Yes, because I asked you to bring pizza. They want pizza and chicken. You got milk,
Shit, bro.
cereal,
Yeah, they got
waffles,
breakfast food and shit. Bro, you doing too much.
hot dogs, ham. Like, why are you bringing them out?
You don't waste too much, bro. I don't know who the fuck I am, but I'm providing for my kids at the end of the day. I'm not gonna go spend all those type of money on a bunch of nonsense when they can get
You
groceries
can
and
take
shit.
this and go. No, I don't want it. Stop trying to. Why are you, bro? Stop. Why are you pushing my door open, bro?
What are you talking about? Let me in here.
I don't want. You can take this.
I don't
Go.
want, bro.
You could have
For
just
my
got some
kids.
chicken and some pizza.
No, I'm not gonna spend all that money on one damn thing.
Bro, I don't care what you're talking about, Rodney. You can take this shit.
The man bought soda in there. And the kids probably shouldn't be having soda, but he bought that. He bought some pretty good items. Turn the camera off, help him put up the groceries, and leave him alone.
What is wrong with boys? What is wrong with them? Let me ask you a question. If you are a male and you're watching this, do you like sauce? Do you like vegetables? Do you like tomatoes? Do you like pickles? What is wrong with boys? They don't like sauce and they don't like vegetables. Or they don't like sauce and they like some vegetables, but not all the vegetables. Definitely not tomatoes. Oh, we like sauce, but we hate vegetables. Lettuce, pickles. And if they leave pickles on my burger, whatever, do you remove them? Yeah, I remove them. What is wrong with boys? Grow up, eat some vegetables, use some sauce. What is wrong? Now it's normal. I feel like most people don't like tomatoes, but the amount of boys that don't like tomatoes, if you're a boy, you probably don't like tomatoes. If you're a boy, you probably don't like lettuce. I can't tell you how many boys I've met that won't touch lettuce or anything green or vegetables. Just meat and potatoes. Steak doesn't need any sauce when you have a good steak. Wings don't need sauce when you got good wings.
You are butt-ass naked in the club, shaking your ass. Then when men look at you, this is why I don't dance in the club. I don't know about y'all, but anytime I post a video on TikTok, I always go back to watch it before I post it. So when you watch this video back before you posted it, you didn't say to yourself, this is dumb as hell. What I'm about to post is really, really dumb. Not only that, you're in a gentleman's club. And I know it's a gentleman's club because I've been to enough of them to know. That's a gentleman's club. So you're already in a crazy environment where guys go to look at women in that way. So like what? I mean, like where's the math? And I'm not even good at math, but that's not equaling up. It sounds like you want 2 + 2 to equal 10, and that's not. I'm trying to understand.
I'm ready for a man that allows me to rest in my femininity. I know a man who gave his life so you can rest in his presence, and you still ain't submitted. What a boy gonna do? What is a man? So all of a sudden, what you telling me is you ain't gonna be the soft woman God created you to be until one of his creations comes along. So you idolizing a man that don't exist yet, huh? You expect for God to give you something that you gonna put over him. That's what you saying to me? What you telling me is, God, you ain't cutting it, but what you can create is good enough. What type of sense do that make? I'm tired of being in this masculine energy. Independence is not masculine. Having your own stuff is not masculine. It's the rights that your ancestors fought for so you can be treated like a human. They're coming. Give your life to Christ. Run that bag up, girl, before I get mad.
I told him I like being with him, and he said, I like being with you too. And then proceeded to tell me that I bring him peace. I've never had a man tell me I'm his peace. I'm normally the problem. Is he broken?
Because I thought you should know. Because you thought I should know? Because I wanted you to know?
Hey guys, let's talk about bad advice. Don't mind my background. I'm just chilling in the garage. But you know all those cliche advice that people give about dating, like not texting right away, not showing vulnerability, having someone that dotes on you, what's to believe and what's not. I think a lot of that is toxic, and the things, especially like for women they're selling nowadays, is to look for a guy that will dote on you and do everything for you. And you see those videos of girls where the guy like carries all their stuff for them, their purse, curls their hair, does everything for them. But where's the videos of the girls reciprocating? So in a good relationship, both people do stuff for each other and care about each other. It's not just one way, because even one way, the other person will get tired of it eventually. So you got to be careful like what toxic messages that social media is putting out, and to really follow your heart.
I feel like I'm gonna sound like the insufferable girlfriend, and I feel really bad because my boyfriend is amazing in every aspect of being in a relationship. As a human being, he's literally like an angel. However, his downfall, because everybody unfortunately has to have a downfall, for dinner, all he wants to eat every single day is ground beef. It's just, I text him, what do you want for dinner? Ground beef and egg. Ground beef and rice. Ground beef and broccoli. Ground beef and asparagus. I don't want ground beef. I want sushi. I just want sushi. And he says, no, I just want ground beef. God, is this what happens when you actually find a good man? This is their one and only flaw.
Why don't you just go get sushi and let him have the ground beef?
Okay, so I think dating at this age, in my opinion, just in my experience, is the worst age in dating. So I guess I'm in the single bougie auntie, the single bougie childless auntie tribe category. And I may not look like it, but I'm 39 and I will be 40 this year, hitting the big 40. I can't believe it. I cannot. And so I'm at this weird age where men my age are married. Pretty much they're married, they're settled. But if they are single, they're going for younger women, even though I'm open to having children. And I've done things, to make that happen. So men my age go for younger. Men who are older, older than that, like my father's age, will go for anything living, child, anything living. And then there are the young guys who see me and then they think I'm probably their age or at least close to their age. And then I have to tell them like, no, you probably can be my son. I had to tell the guy at Home Depot, he was 19, asked me I said, young man, you can be my son. No. Yeah, but I've had younger men who thought that I was like 29, 30. But I had to like, yeah, about that. So it is difficult when you look young and, you keep yourself up and you cute, you little cutie something. It's just trying to find that balance. this is I don't know if it's maybe the date and time, but I think this is the worst time to date or try to date. I gave up. I gave up. I'm just like, man, why can't I get somebody my age, like me, that's childless, that's ready to... Do you know how hard that is, how rare that is? And for them not to go for somebody like 21? But the 21-year-olds are hollering at me, though. I'm like, bro, I can't do that with you. No. I don't want nobody I gotta raise. And I'm not trying to be anybody's hospice nurse either. I am not asking for much. I hate it out here. Yeah.
She's pretty, but like a woman in the comments said, this is how the game goes. The woman also said, that's why they tell women to get married young. I know another person who said, you should probably get married young, and they got mad at him. Kevin Samuels.
Imagine leaving your husband for your side piece, but your side piece doesn't want to commit to you because he doesn't trust you because you cheated on your husband with him.
Listen, I noticed that a lot of women want a husband, but they don't want to be a wife. You don't want to be submissive. You don't want to follow his lead. You don't want him to be the man of the household. You just want the accolades that come with saying you have a husband. You want the wedding. You want the celebration. But it's time to be realistic. A lot of men don't want to get married because they feel like it's not benefiting them. And honestly, we can't blame them because a lot of us just want to have a husband. But we have to realize in order to really keep a husband, we have to learn how to be a wife. And a good one at that.
I think it's so funny whenever I post anything saying like, women are oppressed. And then there's so many men in the comments that are like, oh yeah, how are women oppressed? How are they oppressed? Babe, just look at this comment section. Like, you all hate us.
Man in the comments said women are crushing it across the board. Statistically, they've now outnumbered men in college. They earn more degrees, save more money, own more homes, and live longer. They're also less likely to end up in prison or struggle with addiction. Meanwhile, men are falling behind in school, work, and health, and often don't catch up. Also, please don't compare American women's systemic oppression to third world countries. Research what's happening to women in Sudan right now. Why would she do that? This is the same lady. This is the same woman who asked the men what that little rubber thing on their hand is and why they just don't wear their normal wedding ring. Then men had to correct her and say, well, you do know that we wear that little rubber ring in order to not mess up other things, or, you know, it's a lot safer in the gym or at work. There's a reason for it. Then she had to come back on and say, hey, I didn't understand that. Sorry about that. Maybe this video is going to be the same.
If you go on a date and a guy doesn't compliment you at all, I mean, girls put in the work, right? Like we're out here doing the hair, the makeup, we're putting in the work, right? Like, so if you go on a date and a guy doesn't dish out one compliment, that means they're insecure. That's just what it is. It's just, they're insecure. You should probably stay far away. The more compliments, the less insecure they are.
One of the biggest lessons I learned about men is that you could be with a man for years. Y'all break up today, he gonna have a new on his phone in 2 days. Like, I don't think, that's why I don't think love is real, because how can you love somebody and then be on to the next in 2 days? Like, it's just not adding up. See, me, I'm the type of person where it takes me a very long time to get over things and move on, and even be able to be in a space to where I want to move on. And I have to just heal first. Like, I got to be alone first. But men aren't like that. Men will move on the next day. Like, they never care. Like, I aspire to be just like a man one day, because, you know, I want to be able to move on and not give a hurt a bitch feelings and don't care. But it's like, I'm not like that. I'm such a lover girl. Like, I love, and I don't know. But that's my downfall. Like, love is always going to be the downfall when you're dealing with relationships. Like, you have to think like a man, act like a lady, for real. Like, that's so true.
What do you want a man to do? You said that you didn't want him. Is he supposed to be upset, broken down, in tears because you said that you didn't want him? I mean, what are you guys thinking? the relationship is over. Or you're supposed to more than not supposed to do anything. I can if I want to, but I've come to peace with the fact that you don't want me anymore. You don't want me. I'm not going to sit up and cry about it. It's time to go find somebody else who actually wants to be with me.
I've seen men leave 5-10-year relationships and turn around and marry a woman.
The reason men will leave long-term relationships for a new woman and move on like that is because of something called the 90-10 rule. Basically what it means is the woman he's with might have 90% of what he's looking for. And even though most people are lucky to have 90% in common with someone, he becomes so resentful of the 10% that she doesn't have that when a new woman comes along and embodies that 10%, he's so enthralled with the 10% that she does have that he starts to convince himself that it's 100% of what he wants. So he jumps ship like that, and down the line, he realizes that this woman only has 10% of what he's looking for, but it doesn't matter because he already left the 90% behind. Follow for more and good luck.
Lying. Just lying. That's really all it is.
Here's the thing. They probably do still care. They probably do think about you, if not as much as you think about them. They are just not mature enough to mentally take time to be by themselves and heal that wound individually before going out and finding a new person. They're using their new relationship, their new person to distract themselves rather than heal themselves from the relationship that you two had. They still have the memories of you guys. They still have the remembrance of the love that you gave them. They just don't know how to cope with that without another person. It's not that they don't care, it's that they don't care enough. And that's not somebody that you want to be with. So now what you need to do is prioritize yourself, prioritize your healing, take time to feel the wounds of this relationship. Because while you're healing and dealing with things and letting yourself feel those awful, like heart-wrenching feelings of heartbreak, they're essentially avoiding them. So in a couple months, when you heal and you're fine and you're ready to finally be loved by someone who deserves it, they'll realize they miss you, but by then it'll be too late. And
It could be, but it could also be that they've actually moved on and they don't want you anymore.
Can someone tell me where all the good, godly men went? The ones that highly value women and live the way God wants us to. The ones who are happy to acknowledge that those that have found a wife have found a good thing. The ones that will tell you that you're beautiful, not that you're hot. The ones that want to do nice things for you, not because they want to get something in return, but because they just genuinely appreciate the joy that it brings to your day. The ones that will message you in the morning or right before they sleep or give you a phone call or a video call because they just can't wait to see your face or hear your voice. What happened to those kind of guys? The ones that nurture and care for you and will protect you and provide and treat you like a queen because they know that if they treat you like a queen, you'll treat them like a king, where you can conquer all of life's complexities and hard things together, where you can laugh and love and do life together, wanting that time, cherishing the moments together instead of just treating that time like it's I'll take it whenever it comes, but I could care less because I'm too busy watching football or baseball or hanging with my buddies. Where are those high value men that really just cherish what marriage is supposed to be? Honoring God and their spouse and their family and wanting to be the family man and a provider and a protector. Are they still out there?
You confused his kindness for weakness, his simple no as looking like he had no boundaries, but you were wrong. He had high self-respect and high self-worth. He wasn't interested in push and pulls or your version of attraction being a toxic dynamic of pulling away and being available one day and not the next. No, he showed up, he was kind, he was generous, he was firm in his boundaries, and he just had a quiet confidence about him, which you perceived as weak, but it was secure. and he didn't have time for your little insecure behaviors or feeling like he should chase you and provide the world for you when you hadn't earned it. And instead of actually worshipping and cherishing a good man and bringing peace into his life, you brought chaos and he showed you the door. Instead of crying about it and living in regret about how you lost a good man, learn your lessons so you don't repeat the same thing and grow up.
The type of guy who sees your flaws and he still stays and loves you anyway is a devoted man who would never judge you, blame you, or anything. He's there to protect you, take care of you, provide for you, and if you mess that up, that's on you. Because I'm telling you, when a man is forgiving and accepting, don't get egotistical with that. Don't get entitled with that. Because the moment he stops, you're going to be all like, damn, like, I wish things were the same again. You messed it up, hun. You messed that up. Things would have stayed the same if you stayed the same. If you didn't make him feel like he was wasting his time and energy on you. Take accountability to change that one-on-one coaching in bio.
I hate when it's a really good guy trying to be in your life, but you know he would make the perfect side.
Most women, especially young women, don't like good men. You just heard what she said. She hate when it's a really good guy in her life, but he will make the perfect side dude, because more times than not, the good guy, the good man, it's not her type. It's not her type. So she will keep him in her back pocket because she know that he'll be emotionally available when she wants somebody to talk to. She know that when she wants somebody to take her out on a nice date, he'll be the one to do it. She know that when she wants somebody to buy her flowers, tell her she's beautiful, make her feel great about herself, he's going to be the one to do it. But he's not her type. And most women don't care for good men until they get older, until they get wiser, until their real type is done walking all over them like they're a doormat. Fellas, you know what a good man is. You know what a bad toxic guy is. If you're a good man, find you a woman that values you for who you are. Find you a woman that truly cares about you, that truly shows with her words, with her actions, with her emotions, that she loves you. Don't play second fiddle to nobody. You didn't become this best version of yourself for you to be second to somebody else. For her to say, okay, I'm done with that guy. I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy. I'll give you a chance now. Don't ever play yourself like that. Come on, man.
Anytime a female get up here and say that, oh, God created me a husband, I'm still praying for my husband, I'm here to burst your bubble, okay? Do you see how these men is treating women? Do you see how many women get raped? Do you see how all this black community where we barely get wives, and at the end of the day, they barely want to, do right by black women, and they blame us for not taking care of their kids? They blame us for them not taking care of their kids that they laid down and had to. So understand this. No, your husband isn't out there. God didn't create him. Stop thinking that your husband out there. Unless you want to deal with so much BS, stop thinking that he's out there. Like, you're hurting yourself by thinking that. You are. Because there's no good men left. And y'all need to stop thinking that.
And this is why it takes some of these women so long to heal. Because they say silly stuff like this. They need to process their emotions. Well, men need to go to therapy. You need to be in therapy. You need not to worry about men and get yourself back right.
So if I were to ask a guy for his number when I'm just out and about, where would the best places to go be to do that? Because I am running out of options and I hate dating apps, so I need some suggestions.
I thought you canceled the visit. Nope. Yeah, you weren't here at 11 and you didn't let me know you were running late.
Okay, so where's Salia?
She's already in the room. She came inside and took all her shoes off and socks and everything. So you didn't tell me you were gonna be late.
Laura, I'm not gonna do this, but you just
Okay, you canceled the visit because you weren't here at 11.
That's what you want. Are you sure you want to
Well,
do
you
that?
were.
Are you sure you want to do that?
You didn't let me know that you were running
sure
late.
you wanna
Okay,
fucking
you
do that?
keep playing with people's times, and that's kind of up. And
you
I
sure
keep
you wanna do
asking you with respectfully to please let me know if you're running late. And that's kind of
I
up.
told you I'm on my way. You know it takes 15-20 minutes to get here.
Derek, if you were running late, all I'm asking you is to let me know so I'm not outside with my daughter waiting for you. That's not too much. Doesn't matter. If you say you're getting her at 11 and I wait to go get ready for the gym so you can take her at 11 and I can get ready so I can spend time with her, the least you can do is let me know you're running late. We're not on your time. We're on our time. I had her ready at 11 like you asked. And you weren't here at 11 like you said you were going to be here, and you didn't let us know you were running late. Why can't you text? You drive and text all the time. It does. Yes, you do. You do it all the time. You can pull over. You need to let me know when you're going to be late. That's why. You're canceling visitations.
So if there's not a court stipulation in there, I know this is very frustrating, but you need to give that man his daughter. I see women in the comments saying, have the judge put it in writing. If he's more than 15 minutes late, he forfeits the visit. Another woman says she has a 30-minute provision there. I see another 15-minute provision here somewhere. Once again, I understand your frustration, but if it's not in the court order, you need to give him his daughter. And the next step that you need to take is saying, Your Honor, he keeps on showing up late. I'm late to things. I can't get to where I need to get to. I have to stop my life for him. Can you please put it in there that actually for either one of us, unless there's an extenuating circumstance that you say or you define as extenuating, can you please put it in writing that if either one of us is more than, I don't know, whatever you want to say, 15, 20 minutes late, then they forfeit the visit?
I'm a 28-year-old woman and my fiance, 33-year-old male, and I recently split up after being together for 4 years. There were some red flags that didn't sit well with me, and our future goals didn't quite align. I own a house that he is currently renting from me, and he's hoping to buy it. I've since moved out. I just found out that within 2 weeks of me moving out, he's already seeing someone new and letting her sleep over in my house. I feel extremely hurt and disrespected by his actions. He and I lived together for about 3 years and acted like a married couple. I'm really not trying not to become bitter, as he's clearly showing me that he's not the right man for me. I'd love some advice on how to start over in your late 20s, getting back into dating and finding happiness and peace during this really difficult season of life.
If I've learned anything from being broken up with, or the breakup-y, it's that as soon as you cut ties with someone, you have to realize like that other person's life is none of your business anymore, and you have to allow them to live their life how they want. If they move on in a day, that's their business, not yours anymore. If they move on in 2 years, that's their business, not yours anymore. Like the moment you choose to break up, you have lost all rights to their emotions and what they do, and you don't get any say in their life.
Could not agree more. And so you guys broke up, no big deal. And on the your house thing, okay, so what, you're gonna make him move out for what? Like, that's your ego.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but like, sell him the house, wish him well with the girl. That's right? The big, like, that is the most attractive thing and the most mature thing you can do. Just here's how we're gonna sell the house to you. Good luck with the new girl, and you've got a big, like, karma on that is really positive. But spending energy, like saying, I can't believe you're living in my house, that's wasted energy. That's energy at the wrong problem.
What would you be trying to bother him for anyway? You said your goals didn't align. Why are y'all still bothering men? He moved on. You should do the same. He's renting the place from you and he wants to buy it from you. Sell him the house and go your way. Or if you don't want him there, just say, I really don't want to sell it anymore and I would like to move back into it. Can you find a place to stay in 60 days? Leave people alone, man.
If you notice he moved on very quickly after the breakup, I'm going to explain why. It's going to make you feel a lot better about the situation, and it'll give you some clarity as to why he's doing this. If you notice the guy has moved on very quickly from you, either he, A, is just partying a lot, either B, he now has a new girl in his life, or C, he's just acting like he truly does not care about you, I'm going to explain what it is. Guys have a very different way of healing from a breakup. For them, it's really hard for them to sit with their emotions and to actually dwell on them. So for them, it's very easy to distract themselves with like external factors. A lot of the times their ego is hurt, so they are going to use another form of validation to make them feel better about themselves again. So especially if it was a hard breakup, or you needed to break up with him, or maybe he just has some things going on in his life and he ended it, whatever the case is, okay? And you notice that he is moved on, or it looks like he's moved on. Again, guys do not process emotions the same way as girls do. They don't have the same resources that we do. We have our friends, we have our family. A lot of guys tend to suppress their emotions because it's just not a normal thing for guys to talk about their feelings with their bros. So in this regard, they're gonna do things to distract themselves from feeling terrible. I promise you, guys feel the emotions the same way we do. They are sad about a breakup. If he has moved on with a brand new girl, I'm telling you right now, that will not last, because he is using her, unfortunately, to build his ego back up. And his feelings for you have not gone away. They haven't. That's just like us. We don't have feelings that go away so easily. It's the same way for them. Remember, they heal differently though. So maybe a month or two later, it's going to hit them and they're going to come back like they always do, and they're going to end up missing you. When you see that he's doing these types of behaviors, I want you to really understand that this is someone who's not truly healed. This is how he's going to make himself feel better at the end of the day, because he is hurting, and this is just a facade he wants to portray that he's doing so fine without you, but he's really not, girl. He's not. In my opinion, it's best to just block this person. Don't see anything of what's going on. It's only going to make it worse. Like when you have out of sight, out of mind, it's going to help you heal so much more. If it was meant to be, it's going to be. So you just kind of have to let it play out. But trust me, he's hurting just as much as you are. Don't think that he is not thinking about you, because he absolutely is. However, we're not going to dwell on the past. We need to keep things as they are, keep things moving. You're going to heal eventually. Remember to stay safe, and I love you.
A woman in the comments said 3 years and he found a rebound within a month. Another woman said he broke up with me and I saw that he went on a coffee date with a girl the next week. Like, man, you're throwing away our 3 years just like that? Huh? We broke up. What are we supposed to be doing? I don't get it. What are we supposed to be doing? The relationship is over. You're throwing away us? It's been thrown away. It's in the garbage. You decided that. Are you slow?
I was talking to a man the other day about men's mental health, and specifically how women are kind of forced to carry the brunt of men's poor mental health in the forms of like DV, assault in general, catcalling, and you can argue whether that's due to men's poor mental health or not. But we were having the conversation about how it's kind of now turned to be an expectation of women to start the conversation about men's poor mental health and trying to fix it, even though men don't really have that conversation amongst themselves and they don't really care to help themselves a whole lot. And he said something that I think really encapsulates the conversation perfectly. He said, while women online have made it quite tricky for men, because some of them say they want an emotional man, a vulnerable man, a man that's willing to cry, and other women say that that's an ick and that they don't want an emotional man. Why are we basing it off women? I understand the pursuit of a partner is very valuable and very important for a lot of people, but why are you basing what you think is the correct way to live as a man and how you want to express yourself off of women? Women have been working to actively undo this, right? The whole thing around decentering men. Don't do everything in your life, don't make all of your choices in the pursuit of a man. Why are we not talking about it the opposite way? Because there are women that uphold the patriarchal standards of men shouldn't cry and men shouldn't be emotional. Of course, there are women that perpetuate that. Why do you care about what they say? If your own moral compass is dependent on what will get majority of the female population attracted to you, that's an issue, and you need to unpack that. You need to decenter women
and live how you feel is healthiest for a man to live, regardless of what women say they're attracted to. I have made the conscious decision to try to stop altering certain things about my personality in the pursuit of a husband, because my husband is going to be attracted to me regardless. That's why he's my husband. Of course, there are some things that I need to work on myself because I know that they are unhealthy for me, but I'm not doing it so that I can get a husband easier. I'm doing it so that I feel healthier in my own mind. And I think that's a topic that we have yet to really touch on in the men's mental health conversation, is that do it for yourself. Stop being so focused on women, because I promise you, if you focus on the opposite gender and what's going to get you the most play, you're not going to be fulfilled in your life. It's not going to happen.
Well, I think that's what a lot of men do, or that's what they're taught to do when you listen to a lot of these podcasts, is to live however they're going to live, regardless of what women say. That's what they've been doing, right? But because we're people, when you get society kind of metaphorically or figuratively hitting you upside the head each and every time you try to live in what makes sense to you and go the way that you think that you need to go, how do you think it's going to end up? How do you think that's going to go? It seems like we always mention men need to cry more. Men need to express their emotions in this way more. They don't really. Yes, you need to communicate more. You need to be more open. But because I don't express myself the way that you express yourself does not mean that I'm a bad person and I'm doing it wrong. You guys are getting to the point to where you think that you run the world. You're getting to the point to where you think that what you say is Bible. It's right. It's accurate. It's 100% what needs to be done. You guys are writing books. You guys are going to colleges and putting these things in place that it really honestly and truly doesn't apply to men at all. And you're wondering why men aren't following what you want. It's going to be very hard for a man by his nature to listen to what you're talking about, because that's not the way that men are wired biologically. Do men have things to improve on? A lot of things to improve on? Absolutely. But the way in which they improve on them doesn't necessarily mean that they need to take what you're saying into consideration. Y'all have a certain way that y'all do things, that y'all improve, and so do men. And it seems like when men start their process of improvement, then a lot of times you have a lot of women out here that have something to say about it. And so when a man leaves and goes off into his corner to improve, he falls off the grid, y'all start asking questions like, where are the men at? I can't find a single man. I haven't been able to find a good, attractive man in years. You know why? Because y'all keep on saying, not you specifically, but society in general keeps on saying, this is not the way for a man to be a man. We want a man to look like this. But when a man does look like this, then you call him DL. You call him feminine. You say that he likes men. So y'all keep on twisting and tying and running around in circles. And the man says, you know what? This is society you guys want. I'm going to leave you to it. What I'm going to do is find my place off in a corner in the mountains, out in the country somewhere, away from all of this nonsense. And y'all can leave me alone. Then y'all want to be like, men are disappearing. Not saying that it's completely your fault, but at some point in time, y'all got to start taking accountability for the things that you've contributed in this matter.